Mushahid Hussain, isn't this a time-wasting tactic? Isn't this a time-wasting tactic, this joint mechanism that is being proposed by your foreign minister?
Not at all. It is an attempt by Pakistan and its government to resolve this issue by diffusing tensions and finding a way out to really get at the heart of the matter, namely who was behind this attack on Mumbai, which people of Pakistan have condemned across the board. And people of Pakistan are very concerned because if the temperatures are raised, then tensions will grow and we'll be victims of the election campaign in India, and the peace process, which had really taken a great leap forward, will then take a great leap backwards.
But aren't you looking at it only strategically and not in terms of the real facts? I mean, there is evidence that has been given by India to Pakistan about Dawood, about 20 names have been given there, information on terror camps has been given there, Mr. Mushahid Hussain. Should Pakistan say, let's put all of this aside and lock it up in a cupboard and slowly keep bringing one file out every 2 months when we have a meeting, in a 5-star location of this joint terror mechanism? Will it mean anything to the people of India and Pakistan in substance as far as fighting terror is concerned?
Well, the view in Pakistan is rather different. They say that as soon as the attacks took place, which was in fact a monumental failure of intelligence in India, and it, of course, a very dastardly crime against humanity, which, as I said, we have all condemned. There was an action replay, a repeat of the past, a trial by allegation, without substance, without evidence, directed against Pakistan. As they say in English, give a dog a bad name and then hang them. And we are now victims of the Indian election campaign and also of the so-called war on terror orchestrated by Washington. That is not going to do anybody any good.
Mr. Hussain,
we haven't got any substantive evidence as yet pointing to a smoking gun against Pakistan or any of its state institutions as yet.
Mr. Hussain, substantially, and I want to bring Swapan Das Gupta and Maruf, I know they're wanting to get into. In 1998, when you were the minister, you had raised the issue about your visiting LET camps. I think it was a place called Murid Ke. About your visiting LET camps. You remember that?
No, there was no LET camp.
No, about your visiting LET camps, and this person called Hafiz, I don't know his full name, he's the head of the LET, that you visited him, you met him. Hafiz Saeed, you visited him, you met him in the LET camps when you were a minister.
No, it was not an LET camp. I think, let's set the record straight. The governor of the Punjab asked me to come along with him because there was a problem of sectarian terrorism in the province of Punjab, and we were seeking the help of all religious groups in Pakistan to combat, contain and crush this scourge which has menaced Pakistan. And there was no question of LET. They were not declared terrorists then. It was a religious institution belonging to a certain denomination of Islam. So I think that this blurring the line between fact and fiction is something which should be avoided at a serious level of Indian journalism and of course of policy making, whether it's India or Pakistan. Otherwise, it will just get into a blame game, point scoring, tit for tat, and this will get us nowhere.
I must, on one point I do agree with you completely, Mr. Mushahid. First of all, you're very respected as senior politician, you're very good with your choice of words. You as information minister, as spokesperson of the government, you are one of the finest articulated. So I have two fine and articulate men who want to perhaps put a point across to you as well. Let me first begin by inviting Swapan Das Gupta. No, let's have both sides of the debate.
It's not a question of a debating point. I think this is too serious a thing because we already have a war of words.
Absolutely.
And we don't want this war of words to escalate beyond a certain point, because when there's a fight between professionalism and patriotism, unfortunately professionalism does not triumph, patriotism does. And that doesn't mean necessarily fact, but perhaps fiction as well, as it is happening in this case.
Some of us have always made the point that everybody cannot be brushed by the same brush. And I was making that point earlier, which Swapan also said, that I was brushing the Pakistani media by the same brush, but that wasn't the case. I basically argue that there are moderates in Pakistan, that there are people who are hardliners, there are people who've completely lost orientation. I mean, you guys are also facing the brunt of that with the attacks that come in Pakistan, but at the same time, evidence here is very clearly available that these people were trained in Pakistan. Whether the intelligence services or other terror groups were involved, that is yet to be established. These people were speaking a language with an accent which can be distinctly traced to Pakistan. These people were carrying cell phones which were receiving calls and giving back calls to numbers in Pakistan. They had papers on the dinghies which were again papers related to their sort of directions and briefing. And most importantly, And this is an
Maruf.
operation, this was carried out with military precision.
Yes, Maruf.
And that military precision cannot be put together by terror groups to
Maruf,
that extent.
Maruf.
I don't think everybody in India is blaming Pakistan. What
Maruf,
the Indian populace is saying that enough is enough.
Sorry, of Mr. Gilani or the state of Pakistan or the people of Pakistan. They are sick and tired of this kind of terrorism. They are all victims of the same scourge, whether it's Pakistan, Afghanistan and India. So let's close ranks and coordinate. Let's share information. Let's have a joint commission. Let's even have an international commission under the UN Security Council if that satisfies our Indian friends. And let's get the facts right. But let's not have a trial by allegation. Because
Maruf, let's not end on a discordant note. I think the point is, Mr. Mushahid Hussain has come on the show tonight. He's taken very serious points. He carries back with him the voice of the Indian people. That's what Mr. Mushahid Hussain, I think, people like you can do. Reasonable, very senior politicians. You can take back the voice of the Indian people. I'm sure you appreciate.
Yes, sir,
there is anger here tonight.
Parliament and to our own people.
Yes, there is
Let
anger.
sanity prevail, please.
Let's
so much at stake.
Ornab, I just want Mushahid to carry back the sense of utter outrage in India.
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does.
No.
Absolutely. And we are not warmongers
rule
here.
that out.
We are not warmongers here, but we
And-
certainly.
And let's not forget, Bush tried to have this policy of might is right, infatuation, it failed. So if India tries to copycat Bush, it will also fail. Please don't try to bully or browbeat Pakistan. That won't work.
Mr. Hussain, the people
There will
of
be a reaction.
India,
And the peace
Mr.
process
Hussain,
will be in smithereens.
Mr. Hussain, the people of India, as you know, are a patient and resilient people, but at a time like
absolutely.
this, as you will appreciate as well, their patience is also being tested. Thank you very much. Mushahid Hussain,
agree.
Maruf Raza,
Thank
Swapan
you very
Dasgupta
much.
for
Pleasure
joining
talking
us.
to you.
Thank you so much indeed. Thank you so much.